The whisper of green. This morning, the world woke up quietly. Not with the sharp cry of alarms or the glow of phone screens, but with a softer beginning. A pale ribbon of sunlight slipped between curtains and spilled across the floor, carrying with it something ancient and patient. Outside, the trees were already awake. I stepped into the day barefoot. The grass was still damp from dawn, cool against my skin. Each blade bent gently beneath my weight, then rose again as if nothing had happened. That is the first lesson of green nature in our time: resilience. It does not shout, it does not protest, it simply continues. In the distance, the city hummed, cars moving like restless thoughts, but here, at the edge of the park, another rhythm prevailed. The leaves trembled in a breeze so light it felt like a secret. A blackbird tilted its head, watching me as though I were the visitor and it the rightful owner. And perhaps that is true. For centuries we have called nature ours, our land, our forests, our resources. But stand still long enough among the trees and you begin to understand something humbling. We are the temporary ones. The green world is the elder. The oak tree near the river must be older than my grandparents. Its trunk twists with quiet authority, bark scarred and furrowed like a weathered face. Moss clings to its shaded side, soft as velvet. When I place my palm against it, I feel no heartbeat, yet I feel life. Slow, deliberate, unwavering life. Today's nature is not untouched wilderness. It exists alongside highways and satellites. It grows beneath electric wires and around concrete foundations. And yet, it remains breathtaking. A child runs past me, chasing a butterfly with wild laughter. The butterfly weaves through the air in erratic loops, golden wings flashing in sunlight. The child stumbles, falls into the grass, and instead of crying, begins to laugh harder. The earth has cushioned the fall. This is the second lesson of green nature: gentleness. In a world that feels increasingly sharp, news cycles, deadlines, notifications, the softness of grass, the whisper of wind, the shade of leaves feel almost radical. They remind us that not everything must be urgent, not everything must be loud. I walk toward the river. The water carries fragments of sky within it, rippling silver and blue. Reeds bow at its edges. Dragonflies hover like living jewels. The river does not rush today. It glides. It knows where it is going, even if I do not. On the opposite bank, a woman sits cross-legged with a sketchbook. She studies the curve of a branch as if decoding a message. Perhaps she is. Every leaf is a manuscript written in chlorophyll and light. Every forest is a library. The beauty of nature now is different from the romantic paintings of the past. It carries scars. Some trees are marked where storms tore through last winter. A few patches of soil remain bare where drought burned too fiercely last summer. The climate has changed. The seasons arrive uncertainly. Spring sometimes hesitates. Rain falls too hard or not at all. Yet the wildflowers bloom anyway. They push through cracked earth with defiant color, purple, yellow, crimson, tiny explosions of hope. Bees move methodically from petal to petal, golden legs heavy with pollen. The air smells faintly sweet, tinged with something green and alive. This is the third lesson: renewal. Even now, in an age of rising temperatures and shrinking forests, nature refuses to surrender entirely. Communities plant trees where others have fallen. Rooftop gardens bloom above crowded streets. Children learn the names of birds instead of only the names of apps. There is something sacred about this persistence. A breeze strengthens, and the trees begin to speak in a language of rustling leaves. If you listen carefully, it is not random noise. It is layered, high whispers from the birch, deeper murmurs from the pine, a trembling applause from the aspen. I close my eyes. The sun warms my face. Somewhere, water touches stone. Somewhere else, a dog splashes joyfully along the riverbank. The scent of damp soil rises like incense. Nature's beauty today is not distant or unreachable. It is not confined to remote mountains or untouched jungles. It lives in public parks, roadside trees, community gardens, balcony plants reaching towards sunlight between apartment buildings. A single green vine climbing a brick wall is an act of quiet rebellion. An elderly man nearby kneels beside a small sapling he has just planted. His movements are careful, deliberate. He presses soil around the fragile trunk and waters it from a metal can. When he stands, he rests a light hand on the leaves, as if offering reassurance. He may never sit beneath its shade, but someone will. That is the long vision of green nature. It grows beyond individual lifetimes. It is patient with us, even when we are careless. Clouds drift overhead, casting moving shadows across the field. The light shifts, and the entire landscape transforms. Colors deepen. Greens darken into emerald, then lighten again as the sun reemerges. The world breathes in cycles of brightness and shade. Insects hum in the tall grass. Ants navigate invisible highways beneath my feet. Roots stretch downward in intricate networks, communicating silently through soil, exchanging nutrients, sending warnings, sustaining one another. The forest is not a collection of separate trees. It is a conversation. And perhaps that is what we are relearning now, that survival is shared, that beauty is interconnected, that the health of rivers and bees and soil is inseparable from our own. A sudden gust scatters leaves across the path, and for a moment they swirl in the air like green confetti. I laugh aloud, surprised by joy so simple. There was a time when humans feared forests as dark and unknowable. Then there was a time when we saw them as timber and profit. Now, slowly, we are remembering how to see them again as wonder. The sun begins to lean westward. Golden hour arrives like a blessing. The trees glow from within, each leaf edged in firelight. The river mirrors the sky's transformation, becoming molten amber. Even the ordinary, benches, stones, pathways, appear enchanted. A young couple walks hand in hand under the canopy. Their conversation fades into the rustle of leaves. A cyclist slows to admire the view. A photographer kneels to capture dew on clover. No one speaks loudly. It feels like entering a cathedral without walls. As evening approaches, the temperature cools. The scent of earth deepens. Crickets begin their rhythmic chorus, steady and hypnotic. The sky softens from blue to lavender, then to indigo. Lights flicker on in distant buildings, but here the darkness belongs to the trees. I sit on the grass and watch as the first star appears. Nature's beauty today is not merely aesthetic, it is relational. It is the space where breath slows, where thoughts soften, where the boundary between self and world dissolves. The green world does not need to be perfect to be magnificent. It needs only to be alive. Night deepens. The river continues its journey unseen. The leaves settle. The wind rests. And somewhere in the darkness, seeds are preparing for tomorrow. Because that is the final lesson of green nature. Even when we turn away, it keeps becoming. And when we return, it welcomes us as if we had never left.